Avast, me hearties! Weigh anchor and set sail for the sea of stars as we chart the course of the scurviest lot of bilge-sucking buccaneers to ever shiver a timber. These are the basics on the Star Seekers. The Star Seekers were a crew of Transformers space pirates. They were conceived and designed by Hasbro's creative division, HasLab, as part of the development of the Aligned Continuity, a new universe of interconnected stories and media that launched at the start of the 2010s. The pirates' origins lay in the Golden Age of Cybertron, a prosperous era in the planet's past, during which the Transformers founded colonies on many different worlds. But when a plague of rust began sweeping across the galaxy, they were forced to shut down the space bridges that linked the planets to prevent the spread of the disease, leaving the colonies cut off from Cybertron. The Star Seekers were survivors of these colonies, who resented Cybertron for abandoning them and had banded together to seek revenge on the planet and its people. The crew was made up of reimagined versions of characters drawn from all across Transformers history, but their founder and captain was a brand new character named THUNDERTRON, the former leader of a now-dead colony world of Beast Mode Transformers, who had become a merciless, peg-legged, Ahab-like figure obsessed with vengeance on Cybertron. He transformed into a lion, thus his name was a reference to two other toy franchises also featuring lions, Thundercats and Voltron. The Star Seekers made their debut in 2011, appearing in both the novel Transformers Exiles and the Chinese-exclusive video game Transformers Online. Exiles was set shortly after Optimus Prime's Autobots and Megatron's Decepticons left Cybertron, and followed them as they travelled between the long-lost colonies, only for the Star Seekers to pick up their trail and begin pursuing them from world to world. The story continued in the sequel novel Retribution, in which the pirates lured the Decepticons into a trap and Thundertron engaged Megatron in one-to-one combat. But the Star Seekers had to retreat when their ship was severely damaged in the fighting. Aside from Thundertron, Star Seekers named in the novels included Cannonball, a space pirate originally from 2005's Transformers Cybertron, dim-witted Pteranodon Brimstone from the same series, and Daredevil Triple Changer Sandstorm from Generation 1. Their ship, the Tidal Wave, was named after the giant Decepticon from 2002's Transformers Armada. In the course of the books, the pirates added to their crew by enslaving several inhabitants of the colony world of Junkion, including planet leader Rakgar and his aide Detritus. Plus, the Decepticon bounty hunter Axer faked a hatred of Cybertronians and willingly joined up with the pirates in order to save himself from their wrath. Transformers Online picked up the Star Seekers story in the present day and saw them track the Autobots and Decepticons to Earth, where they battled them for control of a space bridge that the pirates sought to use to invade Cybertron itself. New Star Seekers featured in the game included the Monsterbot, Grotusk, and the reptilian Iguanus, who both wound up defecting and joining the Autobots and Decepticons respectively, and an original character named Famine, a pirate spy operating undercover among the Cybertronians. A toy of Thundertron was designed for a small Asian market exclusive line meant to tie in with the game, but this line never happened, and instead the figure wound up getting a regular release in Hasbro markets around the world as part of the Transformers Prime toy line. According to HasLab creative manager Rick Alvarez, there were also plans to feature the Star Seekers in a cartoon, specifically in whatever came after the third season of Transformers Prime, whether it was a fourth season of that show or a new series. But when a round of layoffs at Hasbro resulted in the closure of HasLab in 2012, all their big plans for the future of the Aligned Continuity were effectively cancelled. and the story of the Starseekers came to an abrupt end before it ever really got off the ground. Other characters that Alvarez and Vice President Aaron Archer have named over the years as planned members of the Starseekers include tough female transformer Chromia, flying saucer Cosmos, who would have been the pirates' herald, warning worlds of their coming, hulking racer Crumplezone from Transformers Cybertron, powerful jet Dreadwing, evil chemist Oil Slick, and mercenary Lockdown, both from Transformers Animated, and a character based on the octopoid vehicle, the Taco Tank, from Beast Wars 2nd. Alvarez has also said that there were meant to be 13 pirates, but between them, he and Archer have listed more than 13 characters, and some of the proposed crew members did wind up appearing in aligned continuity stories in roles unrelated to the Starseekers. In particular, Dreadwing was a major character in Transformers Prime, which seems to suggest that the crew manifest must have gone through some changes over time behind the scenes, before the pirate's story reached its premature end. But while HasLab's plans for the Starseekers didn't pan out, the concept lived on. In 2014, official convention Botcon introduced its own version of the pirates in the form of a set of exclusive toys and a comic book set in the world of the original 1980s Transformers cartoon. Rather than a collection of vengeful colonists, Botcon's Starseekers were a motley crew of treasure hunters, mostly former Decepticons, but even including some aliens. Toys were made of Cannonball, who was captain in this version of the story, Ship's Master Gunner Brimstone, Headmaster Powerhouse Scorponok, Weapons Engineer Ferrock and his Target Master partner Tornado, both characters from the Marvel Transformers comic book, the animalistic Hunter, a character originally created for Botcon 2000, fanatical Decepticon Flame War, created for Botcon 2005, and generic mass-produced crewmen based on the Decepticon clones Pounce and Wingspan. Other crew featured only in the comic included Axer, original characters Rockhopper, Eclipse, and Cannonball's speechwriter, the Chairman, who transformed into his captain's chair, plus the aliens Squirm and the Lizard Man known only as the Navigator. The comic saw the pirates travel forward in time to after the Autobot Decepticon War had ended, intending to pillage an unsuspecting Cybertron while it was at peace, but they were foiled by the planet's protectors, the Cybertronian Knights. Their adventures continued in short stories released via Facebook, in which they set out on a new quest to locate the Ghost of Starscream, only for the spectral Decepticon to help Flame War stage a mutiny and take command of the Starseekers for herself. Aside from the occasional brief mention, that was it for the Starseekers for quite a while, until they suddenly made a return to prominence in 2024, when a new toy of THUNDERTRON was released in the Transformers Legacy line. But it didn't end there. Later in the year, the figure was retooled and recolored to better resemble his original toy and re-released as part of a dedicated subline of Starseeker toys, which also included characters from past versions of the group, namely Cannonball, Lockdown, and Ferrock, as well as new members, Decepticon thug Road Pig from Transformers Generation 2, the kleptomaniac Corvicon Filch, and the fear-manipulating vampire Nightstrike, both from the 2015 series Robots in Disguise, and new character Calcitron, one of Legacy's new range of Armorizer rock robots. However, with these new figures came a change of name. Now, the pirates were called the Star Raiders, and we'll just have to wait to see if that new name sticks if and when this crew of scurvy space dogs makes any more appearances in the future. And those are the basics on the Starseekers. If their story ever gets told in full someday, what bots do you think would make good members? Head to the comments for a parlay. Like and subscribe for more Transformers history and lore like this, and if you can, toss a few doubloons my way on Patreon to get early ad-free access to new episodes.